program is called Psyche, or Psyche in English, and it's about Weiss and his relationship with the French school of lute players. With the new find of the Harrach manuscript, or the Rora manuscript, we see a whole link between Weiss and the French school. Notably, there's a suite that I've recorded where each movement is based on l'amant malheureux of Gallot. And so it's the most important link I think we have, linking Weiss and the German school of the 18th century with the French school that preceded it in the 17th century. I believe it's the first recording, certainly, of the l'amant malheureux suite. And yes, it's just fabulous music, and it gives us so many insights into Weiss, into the German school, and into the French school as well. In the historiography of lute music, we have this idea that there's the French school on one hand and the German school on the other. The French school being more based in the 17th century and the German school more in the 18th century. And what I kind of wanted to do was upset a certain sacred cow. Weiss has always been viewed to be the great exemplar of German music in the 18th century for the lute. And I also wanted to do a lot of the pièces de caractère that Weiss wrote, little one-off, charming little pieces that he wrote in the French manner. So that was sort of the core idea, and then I wanted to do the French music that inspired Weiss, related music to that, and then go all the way to the mature Weiss to see how it developed. The idea of the disc was to do really some sort of history in miniature of the lute from its French inception in the 17th century with Gaultier through to the flowering in the 18th century under Weiss. Aesthetically, I would say I'd want them to have this great complexity and great simplicity, I think. It's incredibly simple, just one lute, one musician, playing this incredibly ornate, complex and involved music. So I think aesthetically, I like that bridge between the most incredibly simple resources and the greatest effect of that. I also think that from a historical point of view, I'd want them to, well, take a journey that hasn't really been taken much before, and not just to do French and German music, but to have a kind of a programmatic narrative that brings them through from the beginnings of the French lute, of the Baroque lute in the 17th century through to about 1750 and its end. I've got a 13-course lute made by Martin Haycock. It's based on the Fry in Warwick Museum. So it's one of the quintessential models we have of the French lute. This one has been adapted with a 13-course rider, so it's a 13-course German model, if you will, but it's quite well adapted to the two repertories, which is why I chose it for this project. The strings, they're all gut strings made by Gamut Music, by Dan Lawson. I'm using plain gut trebles and means, and then I believe it's the first recording using the Gamut strings, which are pure gut strings, but there's one strand of metal, mainly silver metal, running through them that makes them a bit more dense and gives them some fundamental. So it's a lovely sound, it's all very homogeneous, it's got all that quirky, idiosyncratic effect of gut, great warmth, great humanity, I find, and just a great sound. And I don't think there are many recordings, well, there are no recordings with this setup, and I think that there are not many recordings like it with gut at all. So I think that for music lovers, lute lovers, audiophiles, I think it's quite a landmark recording in terms of the equipment being used and the aesthetic effect that can be got from it.